Yo, yo, hello. Oh, let's sort my mic out. How you doing? So welcome back to Let's Build a Website from Scratch. So where we left off last time was we were wrapping up these wireframes. Well, we got down to about here, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm bouncing, I've had enough of Figma. So I spared you all the agony of watching me commit to Figma's auto layout and just quickly blocked out these bits. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually moving into look and feel instead. So luckily we're moving into this, into good old safe and warm Sketch, which I am a big fan of this app. And I've just been messing around really. I've got this idea of a look and feel for this site. So I said at the start of the series that I'm going to do monochrome, and you immediately think like monochrome is black and white, but little did you think maybe that I might use monochrome but shades of a different color, and I've decided to do blue instead. So it's this lovely sort of sky blue, and then this deep navy, and then I've sort of created some shades in between because I had a bit of contrast. And what it's sort of forcing me to do then is think, well, how am I going to work with images on this site? And the answer I've come up with is, let's try some duotone. I do like duotone as an effect. I know Spotify sort of cannibalized it, but I do quite like it personally. I did do a tutorial on it as well. Particularly, let's find it, shall we? Tutorials. We've got an old one now. Duotone, there you go. Live demo. There we go. We ended up making this nice duotone effect. It's like that magenta and navy. Let me plonk a link to that in here. Plonk. Yeah, and that's sort of worked out pretty cool. So that's what I'm going. And then the other thing that I really want to do with this look and feel is, like, I'm trying to break away what I normally do. What I normally do is hard lines on my own site. This one's a classic example. Very hard lines, panels. I like working in panels. I like breaking content into sections. It suits the way I design things, so I'll probably stick with that. But I want to soften it up a bit as part of making things more focused. And I fancy having just with that like soft shape. So what I've done here is I've just drawn this out with the pen tool, this sort of shape for the site head. The site head is just so often usually just like a blob in it, where like a square, rectangle. Hello, it is 4 o'clock here. My brain's clearly already stopped working, and I want to get away from that, to be honest, because I'm doing the one of the great sins of design, where I'm putting everything into a burgerish menu thing. But I want to try and make that as nice as possible. So forcing myself to use shape, which is what you get with monochrome design. You have to use sort of shape and form in order to design things. I thought I would play around, and I've had this tool in my bookmarks for a while. It's like a great tool called Blob Maker. Should we stick that in here as well while we're at it? And it's just a really nice little tool for creating SVG. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they made this Get Waves as well, which is another great tool for creating these sort of shapes. So I could have just created the that with that tool if I wanted. I mean, there's nothing stopping us. Oh, it's just like waveform generator. It's just lovely, really lovely, really nicely designed as well. These things are always really nicely designed. So that's like a really nice shape. I need to download the SVG. Thanks. So what I could do is just plonk that here, and I could use that to sort of frame this header. Let's just edit that path there. You can let me in. Oof. A lot of points here that we don't need. Oops. So what I'm doing here is I'm just removing these path points because it's just a straight line, so I just don't need them. And what I'll do is I'm just going to make it a lot shorter, because how I build things like this historically, get that straight, is I create this like a top. Say you got like, you got the classic slanted sides. I'll create like a top and a bottom element. Chris and I did that for the cube thing. We did like an art directed article. Resources. Oh no, it's in examples on it. Examples, CSS tricks. Yeah, me and Chris did this video. It's really it was really fun. Apart from it was so hot. I remember that day. This is in my old house, and we were in the middle of a heat wave when we recorded it, and God, even though I think it's like 9 o'clock at night at my time when we did it, and I was just literally like dripping with sweat for the entire thing. But yeah, we ended up building that essentially, and that's how I did those sort of chamfered edges was with an SVG top and bottom. It's fun. So yeah, I like that. Because then what I was also going to do is, we'll probably use that colour for this next panel. In fact, what we'll do is we'll use this colour, this sort of grey blue shade. Oops. Tidy that up another time. Then what you can do is you can see how rough I'm doing things as well. I'm exploring some design ideas here, so I'm just not really doing much with layer naming or anything like that. I'm just focusing on making things look cool. Like that. No, actually, I don't like that. I think I want to sort of create these as color variables which is a nice new feature of Sketch. I might have to turn this blue down a bit. I don't know, it's incredibly bright. But I also like it. Because what I was going to do is like a lava lamp style. Yeah, good point, David Light, and hello. It's good to see you again on the stream. I'm all about safety, right, when it comes to stuff. Like, it's all well and good showing off in front of your pals, but really the most important thing to get right is it working, and just having that as a sort of pseudo element, or even just an element in general. You can use sort of aspect ratio, so that's how we did the triangles on that one. Was we know that the top side of the triangle is X% of the width of it at any given time, and you can do that with padding. If you do padding top 10% in CSS, 10% padding top is the 10% of the width of the item. That's how I do like responsive video players and stuff. In fact, I think I actually wrote about that. Sorry, I always end up doing this though, going onto these little. In fact, I did a whole goddamn tutorial on it. Did I? I can't remember. I did write about that on my blog. Find another. Build a responsive. Yeah, I literally wrote a tutorial about it like recently. I knew I'd explained this recently. And the whole, there's like a video player section in the blog, in the article here. And we use this 56.25%, which gives you that 16:9 ratio. and then it explains all of the logic here. So you get that, to get that ratio, you divide 9 by 16, which is 0.5625. Then you can plop your decimal place, 2 places, dunk, dunk, and that's how you get that nice whole number. Well, not whole number, whatever number. And that's how you work out the padding. And then it'll always be 56.25% of the width, which gives you that perfect 16 by 9 ratio. And there you have it. Cool, so let's get on. Try and do another hour of look and feel, see how we go. So I'm digging that. Glad I spotted the waves thing as well. I'm gonna have to extend the size of this canvas. It's a big one. Okay, so I've got this sort of shape and form here. So I'm just gonna plop these two into a group. We'll make that our blog section. So we've already formed this out with the sketches that we did in the iPad, and then these sort of mid-fidelity wireframes. And now we're just progressing up to another. This stream is sponsored by Piccadilly, pretty much. Just wait till you see the overlays I'm thinking about doing. It's extremely Piccadilly sponsored. Cool, right? So I like that. Now, one thing I also like is texture, and I've already created these things. I've stolen some texture from my old site. If this is your first episode on this series, it might be worth going back to the start, because I explain what I'm trying to achieve. And something I want to try to get back to is how I use texture on this site quite a lot. There's a dual texture which I don't want to go back into, but the way that texture's been used, or just shape in general, in order to sort of section elements off or create visual interest. I really liked this little pattern here, this squigglies, and I think I just made that in Sketch, which I've just nicked here. And you can see it's just loads of paths. Really intensive texture. Now what I was thinking of doing is getting some more blobs. So let's just a little tinkle around. Right, the animation on this site is just outrageous. It's just so nice. You like that one? And then what I'll do is I'll plop it on here. Plop. And first I'm just going to position some around. Nice. Tweak it around again. It's got this whole idea of like almost like a lava lamp style UI, because I want some of it to be coming off the site head as well, or to be given the illusion that it's part of the site head. Maybe that one. In fact, if we rotate that one like that, and what I'll do is take the path out of there. Oops. Back in there. Let's, in fact, I should be able to just union it like that. There you go. Make that part of the blob. Let's get a bit of Z indexing on the go. There we go. Let's get a couple more. I want a couple of rounder ones, I think. That's a good one. I don't know how I'd implement this yet. That's part of the fun of doing design like this, is you're not thinking about how you're going to code it. Otherwise, I'd just design straight in the browser. Now that is where I think the real design happens, in the browser. But what I'm trying to do here just play around with some visual ideas. I'll try and maintain a bit of a grid. What I'm doing there is I'm just shifting it about a gutter's worth inside of the grid. Like that, get a nice little offset. I'm try and keep some sort of relative space. Now, as you can see, we've got a problem here with text, which we will fix. I think this needs some sort of gravity, I think. So if I rotate this again, like, ooh, yeah, like that. And then we just get another, I want to get into that one and just take a bit of the edge off that one a bit. It's looking alright, isn't it? Then I need one that's got quite a flat. Yeah, I like that one. Let's get that. So you want one that almost looks like it's splashed onto the next section. Like so. And skew it out a bit more, just make it a little bit more of a there. And then I can totally lost. There we go. Make it part of that wave path. Like so. RT union them. Yeah. There we go. And then I can just send them back to use that colour. Interesting. So I need to deal with this text as well. What I could do is just grab the vector tool for this and create a sort of bit of a round boy like this. Let's create a reasonable arc. Oops. Ooh, open there. No. Open that back up. Weird how it's not letting me anchor that out. I'll just there we go. Let's go back to here again. I'll keep a bit of randomness going. I'm just gonna use a sketch, having a bit of a fallout about it here. I'm gonna do that, and then what I can do is I can edit the path, join it in like that. No, I'll edit that again. That's a very rough shape. You see this corner is crap, but it's just giving us something to work with. So I'm gonna have to that a little bit, maybe extend it out a little bit more. Bit of overlap, never hurt anyone. Let's just drop this a little bit. What I can do with that then is I've got this shape and it looks pretty rubbish now, but then I can come back in and tidy it up. You know, I'm just it's really important when you're doing like look and feel exploration like this is to keep pace going with what you sort of your creative brain's doing. Like my brain sort of works in two different ways. There's a sort of when I'm programming or coding, you know, like I'm doing some scripting, JavaScript, might be half thinking about what I'm doing. If I'm doing some proper programming like HTML, I'll be using a proper mathematical part of my brain, I suppose. Whereas now my brain's just like porridge, and it's it's not really thinking about much. It's just making things look cool. Where's my content at? There it is. Plop you under there. So that looks all right. But what I might do is add another fill. Ugh, not gradient. And stick a cheeky little texture on it. Now what I'll do here is, I think I made this a seamless pattern. If I remember right, this is quite old now, so could be wrong. And what I'll do is actually, let me get all these fills, simplify them. Should be able to union them into one path. Maybe not. Oh, it hasn't even selected all of them. Good grief. There we go. That's a lot of fills. I remember having a discovery on this where I was like, I'll use SVG for it, and I remember actually exporting bitmaps. Make that black. There we go. I'll just export it. So as a PNG like this. Let's do it as a. I don't think so. That's no wonder it got really slow then. Nearly exported every single path as a SVG. Let's just plop it in downloads. Now what we can do is just fill with an image. No. What is going on here? Where's the bloody file uploader? Oh, there we go. What in God's name was that all about? So we've got this pattern, right? And we can do fill, fit, stretch, tile. So we do tile. You can reduce the size of the image like this. Afternoon, Acudio, how you doing? Now the reason I made it black is because what we could do is just undo that. Oops, get rid of that fill. Ooh, what did I get rid of there? Get rid of that. There we go. Delete that. We use this as a mask, and that's what I've done here with this duotone. So we've got highlights, lowlights. The lowlights are the navy color highlights, so that primary color, and then the image is just black and white version of that image, that Twitter thing. And then what I can do here is actually just draw a rough rectangle, fill that, and then Sketch is going to say use that as a mask. So I'll just use it's almost like a clip path. Okay. And then what I want to do is select only the rectangle. And then I'll fill that back again with that image. Tile. Ooh, it's got a little bit of overhang on its borders. See you later. I'll just drop the size again. Then you can just use like a blend mode to actually let's try lighten. No, maybe overlay. Anyone who pretends that they know what each one of them is doing is lying to you. Color, no. Oh, that's got a bit fancy, isn't it? Let's do multiply, and then we'll actually just drop that a little bit. It just gives you that really subtle texture then, and then we'll get even smaller. There we go. So you're fixing two problems then. So you're fixing that contrast issue that you're getting with the drops. What you can actually do is just drop that. The touch like that, so you can see the that through there. I wonder if you can add some blurring onto that as well. No, because what you could, there's the CSS background mask, whatever it's called. I can't remember what the proper it's called, where you can get a bit of a frosted background look. I think Apple made it because they obviously wanted one of their marketing sites to look banging. So let's just get the grid back on. When I'm doing look and feel, I tend to turn the grid off a lot because it gets in my way, clouds my brain up. Cool. Getting reasonably happy with that. There we go. I can touch. So I'll sort this shape out there. I just can't be bothered at the moment. So let's add a bit more of these blobs. So I like this site. It's good, isn't it? Oof, just that easy. And look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Nice cubic bezier on there. All right, nasty director. I see you again. Yeah, that'll look good if we invert it. Maybe make it a little bit chunkier. Invert. This can be like this one a bit bigger actually. So give that. My small child is being naughty in the background. Let's chuck you. Nice. Same primary color. Now, I have no idea how I'm actually going to implement this section at all. I guess we'll find out later in the series when we start chucking out some code. But I don't really care at the moment. I just want to enjoy this process. I've been creative. As I said in like previous episodes as well, and you know, I'm hoping you'll see it. There's whenever I do design, there's a definitive switch where I just stop completely, like making any progress whatsoever in this sort of tool, and then I'll be like, right, it's time to get some code on, and that's the point where I just know that I need to focus on the detail more, and I find it much easier to focus on the detail when I'm actually working in CSS, HTML. Maybe even JavaScript. Like, I just find it so much easier. Okay, well, let's just add. There's got no problem with this. Is a little bit of overlap, but you know what? Whatevs. We've got an idea of where we're at now, haven't we? So I like that one. It's quite simple. Plop. Unless you've stayed in. Just gonna plop it here for now. Oops. Oops. No, Sketch is not it now, is it? Right, mate. Sort it out. There we go. Not really ended up using much of that. Oh well, we'll keep that as is for now. Give that a little save. So about half an hour in, looking all right. Let's what we're looking at of type scale. Have I just been making it up? 50. So where does that look? Let's go in my favorite tool. So roughly, we're sitting on a major third, roughly. One out, and then what are you? 20, I think, aren't you? Yeah. Works for me. I think I might actually make that metallic black. Oof. Tempted to stick with Inter there as well. I'm making it 3 lines like that. That is one of the problems of working in a static design tool like this. Is you just end up creating unrealistic, things like that. Like you ain't gonna. That's not how it works on the web, is it? There you go. Works on Dribbble, I suppose. Right. So we could just chuck a cheeky little burger up here, can't we? I want that to be pretty rounded. So we'll go back in that site head. We'll create a rectangle. I don't want to make it too big actually. About 40 pixels. 40 by 6. I'll give it a nice rounded corners as well. Lovely. I can just dupe. 6. And then go to the border. Make them all that same dark colour. Oof, I love the way that navy and that sort of sky blue go with each other. It's beautiful, beautiful combo. Okay, so burger. And then what I'll do is I'll just add a little label to that. Oops, looks like a Tech Bro Talks on Twitter, right? And then should make that proper thick. Oh yeah, we should. Where you at? You're playing at 20. That'll do. So the burger, like, if you like realistically, if you think you can have a wrapper, so you go there, and then we'll probably have the same space like that. Gutter. That looks fucking massive. Alright. Why don't we try it a little smaller and do a baseline? Let's just have a look how it looks in full size. Yeah. What's the next size up? 2025. Oh, try and stick with the. No, I'll go for the middle now then. Lovely. Fantastico. So I wonder if you've been here from. No, my dream career has been a designer that designs websites for Dribbble only. God, ditto. No users, no customers, just me in the lowest contrast colors you're seeing. Can you imagine just not having to just do any level of professional responsibility whatsoever? I guess that's why a lot of developers in tech just don't give a flying F, and they just all they care about is themselves and their whether or not they enjoy their job. Oops, right, okay. That's looking pretty cool so far, I must say. Let's see, should we... I'm not going to do the burger menu right now. I don't think I can be bothered doing that at the moment. Let's have a little tinker around here. We should probably tidy this up a little bit first. Pop you in that group. Oops. There burger. Yeah. Stick the burger in there. Beautiful. So the blog section is pretty straightforward. It's latest in the blog, 3 articles. What I'll do is I'll make the blog a link to the blog. So same heading, treatment. I could create a text style, oops, but I'm not going to bother. In short, oh, where the hell did that end up then? What's redoing sketch? Blast you right up to the top. Pop you in that group, and then off we go on a little merry holiday. Now the question is, do we keep this alignment in the grid? Do we have this wide and then an indent like that? We did that in the wireframes. I think I might try this again. So if you remember, these two are built with 2 elements, right? So you got the wave at the top, which is as tight as possible. So this rectangle, if we just change the color of it quickly, so we can see that is going to be our actual element that we're working with. So what I work today is, normally I try to pad out a panel in this sort of region, in the upper region of the size and scale. So let's go for 40. And that's it. There's no magic. You can do all these tricks with spacing, but I literally just count. If you hold shift in sketch, it'll be 10 pixels. Big advocate for making your life as easy as possible. And then you can say latest from the blog. I have no idea. It's because I've made it to. I forgot about our. Let's make it nice and tight. 50 times 1.1 is 55. Nice tight line height. I think you can do text decoration these days in Sketcheroonie. Oh, yeah, you can. It's skipping the ink for us as well. Latest from the blog. Now I don't like that. So we could quite wide, don't it? Oh well, let's leave it. Let's set that back to the right color again. Now that we've demoed that. Latest from the blog. Tell you what, it's going to give you some serious eye ache. It's this site, isn't it? Right. What I had to do on just as a slight aside, when I did this site, you might be able to see it on stream actually. Oh no, it totally goes weird on there. I'm just looking at Streamlabs there. What this does is it sort of flickers a little bit when you scroll it. So when I built it, Karamboo alerted me to it, but I'm really glad they did. So the dots only appear when the user has no preference for reduced motion on there. Otherwise, it's just a solid background. So yeah, it's a little trick there for you. I think I'm just doing the same as here. While we're on here, I might as well nick the content from here. Let's make this nice and tall. So we'll go back into our layout. So we're at the 50 mark there. Keeping it roughly on the scale, go down one to the 40. And I'll just draw. I tend to just draw a sort of where I roughly want to set type and then set that at 40, 44. I've got a slightly lighter shade there. Then I'll probably just do that same spacing from here. sites there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a little date stamp on it as well. When did I do that one? 18th of October, I think. I like long form date formatting. So October the 18th, 2020. And then we'll go down the scale again, 31. Again, we'll use the proper sizes. Go down another one actually, 25. I use the intervariable font as well, I think. I really like that. It's really nice to work with. There we go. Lovely. Do you know what? Let's make it a symbol. And there, duplicate. And duplicate again. Oops. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, that's about right. And oops. And what you can do then is say like, okay, my height's 432 and I want to add another 40 on there, so then you can get that nice space there as well. And let's put the real content in there. Extremely loud minority. The type scale tool is brilliant. I use it for like religiously, that scale. Yeah. Might treat myself to some extra width on those headings. What the hell is this thing? So I'm gonna, I don't know what, I'm just gonna leave that like that. It's running out of energy for these tools. Right, I don't like that indent. So pop them at the same level as the heading. Right, and then what we might try actually is duplicate that. Flip it. And then just shift it all the way down. And then I'll actually get rid of that. What do you know? Look at that. It's looking pretty wild, if I do say so. I really like this. Force feed. Fresh eyes, I think. I think that's what I need. Yeah, I think we'll cut this one actually. I think 45 minutes is pretty good. Good time. Certainly achieved a lot in terms of look and feel, which is good. You're starting to see, hopefully, if you've been following this whole thing, you know, you can start to see like the process now. So we started off in notes, didn't we? And then we were moving into this territory, and then you're moving into the sort of mid fidelity. Oh, we're missing a button there. We could add a button, and then we're doing this. The button's got to be like a blob of some sort on it. Should we get a nice blob, nice wide blob. Do some clip path clip path magic. I have to. Oh yeah. All right. Yoink. Show there. 6. God, this pink really does work. So, but it breaks my rules. My rule is simple. Monochrome. Give myself that little design constraint to work with. Love it. This stuff, right. Drop the height of that a little bit. And then you say, right, you're going to be that colour again. And stick a text label in there. It says the portfolio. Knock it down to 20. And then you do get that black weight on there. Oh, absolutely love this font in that weight. Maybe we go into shouty mode for. Oh, where have you gone? There it is. Good. I'll just. Oh yeah, Utopia. Yeah, that's what the Piccalilli site uses for. Interesting. Not sure how I feel about that. Food for thought for the next one, I think. Some fresh eyes. Looking pretty cool. But yeah, just before I go then, Utopia, made by the fine folks at Clearleft, who are purveyors of high quality stuff. And it essentially gives you, so you can use a type scale just like we're using there. And then it'll give you, where's the, I used to show you the size scale. I don't know where that's gone now. Calculator. That's what I'm there. So you can generate that sort of fluid scale, and then it's actually fluid as well. It works pretty good. I'm actually probably not going to do it for the next Piccalilli site. It's a really smart tool. Generates quite a lot of CSS, but you know, I guess that's part of the territory. But yeah, it's really beautifully put together. It's a lovely site as well. And James and Tris are both exceptionally smart people. Tris is a very good developer. James is an incredibly good designer. So yeah, nice dream team. Right, so I could call that. I might play around with these colours a bit more tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can just edit that variable now. Oh God, of course it doesn't bloody work. Anyway, we can have that fun tomorrow, can't we, gang? And it'll get to the point where I'll probably get to. I actually definitely want to do the what is it, view. I really want to do that in the static tool. I definitely want to do this in a static tool because I think it's going to be a lot of like design work in here. But then when it comes to like the blog posts and stuff like that, and that's just straight up layout work. So I'll just slap that out with CSS, I imagine. But other than that, I think we're all good. Right, nice one everyone for stopping in.